Here I am sitting in my yard today on a beautiful Saturday. It's a little cold last night up here in Westchester, though. I had like two blankets on. We don't turn. I try not to turn the heat on till November 1st, but that's because oil is so expensive, and I don't want to start spending money on heat in October. So I never seem to make it to November 1st, but that's my goal. So there's been a lot of happenings in the police off the cuff real crime stories world. Uh, we've been looking at the Murdoch case down in South Carolina. Nunu Huda, how are you? Good to see you. Um, and of course, the Gabby Petito case is there's continuously every day new information. MC's Audio, how are you? Dorian McCormick, D. LaPlante. This is an unscheduled live. I just thought it was so beautiful out in my yard. You could see I finally got my dormer painted, and you could see, I don't know if you could see, I'll lift it up, but you could see my pool is now closed. So the whole summer, I think I went in at once, but the pool is now closed. So happy to report that. I don't think we'd be going in it this week anyway, but it is now closed. And my dormer, which wasn't painted, now it's painted now. So we got something done. Anyway, I don't do any painting anymore. Anymore. I never did it anyway. Always hired people. Lola's mom, good morning. Hello, everyone. So a lot of stuff happening. We've been continuously following and monitoring the Gabby Petito case, and of course, the hunt is on for Brian Laundrie. The FBI is searching. Hello from Toronto, Canada. Fat bald alien. I love that. Meerkat. I'm not going to touch the Chris McDonough case. I thought that, look, I don't wish I had some issues with him, but I don't wish him any ill will. I don't wish anyone any ill will. We all sort of make our own bed, and I certainly don't believe in kicking anyone when they're down. So I'm not going to really comment on Chris McDonough. I commented on it earlier on, and I took tremendous criticism across the YouTube channel, but I refuse to kick the man when he's down, and I wish him the best, and see what happens. Look, YouTube is a different world. You have to adhere to their rules, and they can, if you don't adhere to their rules, they can just cancel you basically. And I'm sure he's going to fight to get back on, but it is a difficult situation. But we have to adhere to their rules. This is the world of social media, and that's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, a lot of different things happening in the Brian Laundrie thing. As we all have to understand, is that the FBI, I believe, has the murder case. And hello, Christian Bangdahl from Sweden. Yeah, good read, Chris McDonough, no drama. I'm not getting into that drama. I just want to talk about what we're talking about. So, the FBI is responsible for building that case. And consistently, the way the FBI does things, they try to keep things very close to the vest. They don't like to release a lot of information. They really need to just keep it close to the vest, because when the arrest does occur, they want to have all the evidentiary material a surprise to the defense. They don't want to let the defense know what they have until they're required. Mrs. Hancock from California, morning, y'all. I love that y'all, because someone said, and I find things in the chat. I read a lot of the chat, and I find it so amusing. Someone in the chat said, Phil and I should learn how to speak proper English, or not English, grammar, I think they put it. And hey, I got a lot of New Yorkese, and I got a lot of Manhattan. I got a lot of bad habits regarding language from working in the street, and I'm educated. I have a master's degree. I have an AA, a BA, and I got an MS. But hey, I'm from the street. And yeah, how rude of them, Sandy from Canada. That's all right. I find it funny. You have to have a sense of humor in this life. If you let people get to you, you'll never make it. And if they what do they say? If you let someone live for free in your brain, I forget the expression of that. But hello, Helen Lupton from England. I love going live in the afternoon, because people from England and Europe, you guys are all awake. You're all ready. You all want to hear what we have to say over here across the pond, because it's your waking hours, and it's ours, when we go on at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, it's in the middle of your morning. So I'm sure you don't love to do that, to get up in the middle of the night. Northeastern Tennessee, hello from Boise, Idaho. Hello, how are you? Scott Inquirer, we are all New Yorkers. That's right. If you let someone get to you, they're renting space in your head for free. That's the expression I was looking for. Whoever just gave me that, thank you so much. So yesterday we did two lives. We did a promotional in the early afternoon at 2 o'clock. Myself and Phil Grimaldi. Yeah, Phil, straight out of Brooklyn. Phil Grimaldi, that guy. Yeah, him and I just I think we were born to work together. He's a great co-host, and we've only been doing it together for about 2 months. And I'm the yin and he's the yang, or vice versa. And he's very knowledgeable about police work. He's very knowledgeable about investigation, and I can always count on him. It's 6:08 in the UK. Good timing for us. Luna Umbra, yes, Lexington, Tennessee. Must be beautiful in Lexington, Tennessee today. Hey, yo, Bill from PA. How are you? I speak Cape Breton, Newfoundland. I can't even say that. Hello from Sweden. Hello from Sweden. Edmonton, Alberta. Think I'll go out to Alberta. That's that old song by, well, Neil Young made it famous, but it was from, I can't think of it. They were Canadian songwriters, actually. Ian and Sylvia. They wrote that song, Four Strong Winds, and they mentioned Alberta. Hola from Spain, Connecticut in the house. Cold, rainy Brighton, UK. Curious in Oregon. Hi, Lynn Hedgecock. Hi, Billy from England. Hello, Yankee from the great state of South Carolina. Hello from, I love this, that you guys are from all over the world. It's just so amazing that I could sit here in my yard in Westchester County. Hello from Iceland, Diana Burr. Burr. Must be freezing in Iceland. Newfoundland from Cape Breton. Beck from New York City. It's so great. Hello from Germany, Andrea Talu. It's so great to see you folks from all over the world. And what do we have in common? We have in common the police off the cuff, real crime, real crime stories. And as I always say, I try to give the police perspective. I try to give an honest perspective. I try to give an ethical perspective. And there's a lot of different points of view on this. But I was a NYPD police officer, sergeant for 27 years. So I worked in homicide, my last 10. So I have a pretty good working knowledge of what happens in an investigation. And I like to share that knowledge with you. And I always like to listen and read the chats, because you know something, what I've learned in life, in my, maybe I shouldn't tell you how, I'm going to be 65 years old in December. I actually had to apply for Medicare. That's a wake up call. All of a sudden they're like, oh yes, you got to apply for Medicare. That's going to be your new health insurance. Kalela, hello, how are you? I got some of these insects flying up my head out here. Blue Point, New York, how are you? That's where Gabby Petito is from, Blue Point, New York. That's why out eastern Long Island. So yeah, I always love to read the chats because, as I said, I can always learn something from anyone. A young kid can teach you something. And the day that you stop becoming a student is the day that you stop learning things in this life. And I always like to keep learning things. And, you can learn something from a young kid, an old adult, middle age. Anybody can teach you something. And I always, greetings from Dublin, Clan McManus. What a great name. Uganda. I almost had your name. You sound like Duty Ron. Duty Ron and I are buddies. We're friends. We're both New York City cops. He was a detective. I was a detective sergeant. Believe it or not, I didn't know Duty Ron from the NYPD. I met him. I met Duty Ron on YouTube, and we become mutual admirers of each other's channels. And if anyone's helped me on YouTube, Duty Ron's helped me more than anyone. And I really appreciate his friendship, and I appreciate his help, because it's, especially, I'm an older guy, and the computer stuff, it's not so easy. And Duty Ron actually, hello, 12-step woman, Catherine Mooney, New York City cops are the finest. Thank you so much for that compliment. And Duty Ron actually shared his producer, Josh, with me. And Josh is just I'm trying to read the chat. If the FBI or U.S. Marshals knew where Brian was, would they bring him in? I think 100%. I saw something online today that they were saying, oh, they're not ready to pick him up because the case isn't ready to go forward. Trust me, they would bring him in. I think they learned the lesson of the local police department of not conducting surveillance on him, so he slipped away. And then it seems like, and I'm not trying to criticize them, but maybe that wasn't a great decision to pull off the surveillance on him. He was able to, Northport, Florida, yes. He was able to slip away. Sydney, Australia, it's 3:10 a.m. and I can't sleep. Glad you're on to keep me amused at this hour. Ha ha, Linda Hawthorne, thank you. Do I think Brian is in Florida? I personally don't think he's in Florida. I think he got away somewhere. He potentially, he could be anywhere. So my guess is just as good as yours or as bad as yours. Crime hippie, dipped in butter. I love that. That's one of our levels of our of our memberships on YouTube. The first one is the bucket for $2.99 a month. The second one is $9.99 a month. Polish my rack. The second one is dipped in butter for $24.99 a month, and for $49.99 a month, the premier level in our YouTube is heated dipped in butter. So if you want to be heated dipped in butter and you got $49.99 a month to part with, join our membership there. Phyllis Horn, thank you for being the voice for the voiceless. I don't think of myself as that, but thank you for the comment. I don't know what I don't know what his talent is. I know he has in the past found some high-level fugitives. I don't know what training he got other than he's a TV bounty hunter that people watch and they're amused by it. I think this whole world is one big... Jackie C., the interview room has been terminated. Yes, someone else brought that up before. I really don't wish to speak about Chris. I wish him well. I don't wish anyone ill will. And I especially, as I said before, I especially don't like to kick someone when they're down. So I'm not going to talk anything negative about Chris. Luna Umbra, thumbs up, all coming into the chat. Hello from Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Hey, that's close by. That's Phil Grimaldi's area, right? Straight out of Brooklyn. Linda Hawthorne, Catherine Mooney at Linda Hawthorne. Go to their website. PoliceOffTheCuff.com is our website. All the goodies. Hello from Croatia. 7 p.m. in Croatia. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, we're trying to give you some. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to tell you this right now. This Monday, I'm making a call, or it's actually the second call, to the assistant of the actor Chaz Palminteri, who wrote the movie and starred in the movie The Bronx Tale. He's a huge police supporter, a great guy, great actor, great writer, and I'm so excited about meeting him. He's going to come on Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories. I don't have a date yet. It's going to be early or mid-October, I'm hoping. But I'm really, really excited to have him on the show. In addition, this Tuesday, I believe it's the 5th, I have Michelle McPhee. She's a writer. She wrote the book Mob Over Miami, and as well as about 5 or 6 other books, maybe even more than that. I don't have exactly her whole repertoire of books that she's written. But she's going to come on Tuesday night. We're going to talk about the Murdoch case. I'm going to talk about the Gabby Petito case. I think sometimes it's good to get a different point of view on the show with our police point of view, but get some point of views from writers, from people outside of law enforcement. Of course, if you watched our show last night at 5 p.m., we had the great retired NYPD police officer, attorney Joe Murray, who seems to be such a huge crowd favorite. They call him, hello, Sergeant Melinda. Hello, y'all. I don't resemble Chaz. Come on. I don't look anything like Chaz, but that's funny. I like that. Sergeant Bill, you always spoil us with so many great guests. Melinda, I'm doing fine, Melinda. How are you doing? It's good to see you. I love when you guys say y'all. It's not. So I was just talking about Joe Murray. Joe Murray gives the dissenting opinion all the time. Phil and I think like cops. We have sort of a cop mentality. Joe got a little away from that when he became a lawyer. He went to law school. Now he's sort of a defense attorney. And yeah, Joe, Phil, they call our show the Sergeant Bill and Detective Phil show. And then every once in a while, we sprinkle in some Joe Murray. Hello, Jamie Pimentel. I haven't seen you in a while, Jamie Pimentel. Where you been? great to see you back. I see you in the chat now. It's so great to see you guys back. What a beautiful day it is today in Westchester. I think I'm going to some fair later on outside in Pleasantville. There's a town near me. Um, I can't even read this whole thing. Uh, Someone was talking about dog being a convicted felon. You know something? People are convicted felons, and sometimes they go on the straight and narrow and they get their life together. And I don't know if we want to hold that over their head for their entire life. So, sometimes we got to forgive people. And if they do show a propensity to go on that straight and narrow, Mrs. Hancock, up to 15 countries of viewers. Very impressive, Sergeant Bill. Hey, I'm loved in Europe. I wish I was as loved in the USA. So, Claire Bright, hello, Bill. Carve it up. Carve it up. Gisela K. That's Grizzly Books. That's her expression. Carve it up. Hello. I wish Gisela would stop in. I'm sure she's probably doing a video right now. She's one of the hardest working people on real crime episodes right now. She's putting out so many. Dog has been professional for 45 years. Stop the nonsense. The boxing Jedi. I don't know what do you mean by him being professional. He's on TV. Does that make him a pro? Because he's a bounty hunter, does that make him a pro? I don't know. He's not a professional law enforcement officer. 12-step woman, I love Gisela. Let's be kind. We all have a past. Spread love. Q sent me. Christina Logan, good afternoon from Wales. Yes, I love this. Rains, most likely he's hiding in a plain sight. Some relative or a friend of the family is hiding him for now. And of course, we're talking about Brian Laundrie. Look, in these real crime channels, it's always easy to take an opinion, to take a side, to believe this, to believe that. And we, in law enforcement, we have to take things, and I'm guilty of it too. We have to take things where the evidence leads us. And the only people, Claire Bright, I agree, Bill, she has worked so hard for her channel and deserves every success. I helped Gisela, you can ask her. I advised her to come on YouTube and to work hard, because she was working hard not on YouTube. I told her to use StreamYard and to go on YouTube, and the rest is Gisela history. She's doing great right now. She passed us in subscribers. So what do they call that? Am I cutting off my nose to spite my face? No, look, I think she's great, and I wish her nothing but success. Susan Marie, looking good for 65, Bill. Don't jump the gun yet, Susan Marie. December 14th, I'm 65. Yeah, I guess. Retired Sergeant Muller, I love this family. You'll have to go check out the merch. I received mine yesterday. That's great. Phyllis Horn, love her. You guys, as you could see, it's beautiful out today. It's 74. I think last night was the first night it dropped into the 40s. And I don't know if any of you other guys who live in the Northeast or wherever you live, I'm not putting the heating bills in October. So I'll wait till the real cold comes in. That's our Streamlabs coming up on the screen. Bella explores life. Brr, yeah. God bless you, Bill. Thank you, my King of Kings. It's so great. Dog is no pro. Please, he picked up the monster can without gloves on. I don't know exactly what that means, but the other thing is some people on the chat have been asking us to go back to the Summer Wells case, and we certainly will. I don't think there's been any new developments in that case of late, but we're definitely, absolutely 100% going to monitor it. And if there's anything new, Duty Ron and I and Phil Grimaldi, we've all been sort of deputized by EquuSearch as law enforcement liaisons. And so when they hear anything, they'll let us know. Dana Fine, thank you. You're a good man, Bill. Thank you so much. Brian is a weasel on the run. Justice for Gabby will be delivered. The lady is a tramp. Poor Summer. BJ Catalano, the Murdoch case. The Murdoch case is just an incredible, incredible case. To think that all of this stuff could be going on in one family's life is just incredible. And when you pull away layers of the onion, and more things, illicit things are going on, you just say to yourself, wow, how could this happen? I've said a million times in regards to the Murdoch case. Susan Marie, I never worked with Phil Grimaldi on the NYPD, just to let you know of what a huge department it is. When In the heyday, there was like 36,000 cops, maybe even more than, maybe like 40,000. So I worked in Manhattan North, and Phil worked in Brooklyn. So we never met on the job. But after the job, Phil and I were on a TV show together called The Perfect Murder, and we played the lead detectives. It was on the ID channel. And the first time I ever met him, we gelled, and because he was a little nervous, and I had done a couple of TV shows before, and I told him, "Don't worry about it." He goes, I said, "Just do what you do when you're playing, when you're a real detective." And he took my advice, and he said, "You made it so easy for me, just giving me that advice." So, Tom Cusinelli, thank you so much for the compliment. Frida from Sweden, Antique Macabre, I saw the episode. You saw us in The Perfect Murder? Give us a thumbs up if you saw us in The Perfect Murder. I don't know Louis Ballesteri, James Brown. I don't know him, sorry. Um, Retired Sergeant Melinda, Internet FBI, internal Internet sectors are working close with all platforms, so if people don't obey the contracts and law, I wish I would have been a faster speed reader. Maybe if I would have taken the Evelyn Wood speed reading course. Chaz needs to get started on how to get away with murder. Lawsuits route. I want to watch Bill in The Perfect Murder. Drop the link, Bill. I'll drop the link on the chat or on our site. I'll let you know. I was on 6 episodes, so it's called The Perfect Murder on the. I don't remember the names of all. If you go on, I think I have an IMDb somewhere. I thought I was an actor for a while, you know. I don't know if you guys know, I did stand-up comedy for like 6.5 years, 7 years. And just the pandemic sort of knocked me out of doing that. And because, yes, James Brown, he was the detective that took down the mob's waste management in Manhattan. Because of, after the pandemic, because the podcast took up all of my time and all the work, it's really time consuming. I have decided, at least for now, not to go back to stand-up comedy. I really like to perform. I don't know if I'm as good as many other people, but I think I did okay. And maybe I'll go back to it one time. Let's see. When can I buy the other books of yours, Sergeant Will? Plans for another one. Fatal Attraction, Kathleen Mooney. Uh, why is his family? Well, they can't prove that his family, right, at least right now, they can't prove. The question was, why isn't his family charged as an accessory for hiding Brian Laundrie? I think that the FBI and the prosecutor's office has their hands full with trying to figure out the charges. Once they do apprehend Brian Laundrie, they're not as concerned with the family members if, in fact, they had been hiding him. Christine Rose, hello, how are you? Yes, they can grand jury them, James Brown, absolutely, but I think they're more concerned right now with Brian than worrying about the potential involvement of the family. They'll get to them. No one's going to get away with it. They'll get to it. Um, Lisa Jennings from Salt Lake City. Scott Inquirer, hi, sweetie, good afternoon at Boxing MMA 365. Catherine Mooney, David Pagan. I can't keep track of all these, a lot of these television things. Sergeant Bill, you're a funny bastard on the shows, always have me laughing every show, Boxing and MMA. Well, thank you. I always try to throw in a little humor and everything. I think humor keeps us young, keeps us happy, you know. Think it's important to tell jokes, you know, to have a sense of humor. I don't care. TIR struck some channels on his way out. What part of New York State am I in? I'm in Westchester County. It's like just north of New York City. I lived here when I was on the police department because it was an easy commute. I drove in. Lady is a Tramp. Bill is famous. Not quite. Not quite. Maybe one day, you know, I'd never give up. I always keep trying to do new things, you know. My kids always say, Dad, we like that you're always trying different things, you know. You were a cop, you were a college professor, you tried stand-up comedy, you were an actor, now you got a podcast. What's next? I don't know. Whatever I decide to do next. Hello, Christine Rose. Scott Inquirer, all you guys, I see all you from the chat. And you know, folks, I didn't even mention it now, but if you're on the chat now or in the chat now, and you're not subscribed to Police Off the Cuff, well, shame on you. Get to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a thumbs up. All right? Yeah, never stop learning. So yeah, I just today decided out of nowhere to do a little live in my backyard. I'll get someone wrote Bill will get famous and forget about us. Never. Hey, Lieutenant Pete, how are you? Lieutenant Pete is one of our biggest fans. I love seeing Lieutenant Pete and Vicella and his wife Vicella. You guys are just unbelievable, and I appreciate you guys so much. And Lieutenant Pete is a star in his own right. Street crime lieutenant, famous 3-2 in Harlem lieutenant. He's got a book out called Harlem Raiders. He's just an amazing guy. Amazing mate. Yeah, our pool was closed last week. So be closed till next season. Next thing we'll be seeing is the snow on the ground. Scott and Choir, let's do lunch one day, Bill, Rockland County. Absolutely, absolutely. Stephen Gennaro, how are you? Lieutenant Rachel, I love you. That's from Sergeant Melinda. You guys are, I'm so happy that all you guys came by today in the chat. So as I said, this week we have Michelle McPhee coming on. She's an author, Mob Over Miami. We're going to talk about some of the cases, but we'll also talk about her writing. And if you weren't listening from the beginning, I got a call with this Monday set up with Chaz Palminteri's assistant, and we're going to set up a date for Chaz to come on our show. And I wanted to mention a friend of mine, Cliff Moylan, who I took comedy classes with like 7.5 years ago. He was my hookup to Chaz Palminteri because he studies acting with Chaz Palminteri. And he hooked me up with his assistant. And Cliff Moylan, I don't think you're listening, but if you are, I want to thank you. I appreciate everything you do. You're a good buddy of mine. Love you, buddy. And he's an Irish guy from Boston. He was the guy in the movie about the Boston Marathon. He played the cop that said, what was the line he said? Welcome to Manchester. Was that MFer to the Zarnaev brothers as he was shooting it out with them. And that's what the real sergeant said, and he played the real sergeant. Thank you guys thank you guys. I appreciate all you guys that are subscribers to Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories. It hasn't been an easy run with doing this show. We've morphed into different things. We started out, myself and Mark DeMeo, doing a lot of different stuff, and now I'm doing Real Crime Stories, and Mark is doing his own show under the Police Off the Cuff banner. And you're always learning, you're always trying different things. Yeah, Chaz Palminteri, I just love the guy. That scene in the bar with the bikers there, and when he locks the door and says, "Now yous can't leave." That's got to be one of the classic lines in cinematic history, Angela Van, yes, the weather is beautiful out here. It's a gorgeous day, and I want to enjoy the day, enjoy the day. Tina Wright, thank you so much. You love the show. Thank you so much. Claire Bright, your channel is very interesting. You make some interesting points on the cases. Well, I really appreciate that. Phyllis Horn, love the true crime stories. Thank you guys so much. My heart is filled with all these great compliments. I don't know if we could. John Gotti Jr., I think, is sort of out of the life. I don't think he's looking to go on a podcast and talk about the life, or at least he says he's out of the life. Angela Van, enjoy your show also. So again, we're going to be talking a lot more about Duty Ron. I just ended a live. Great to be here. Duty Ron is like the hardest working YouTuber in the country. I can't keep up with the guy. Sometimes I call him and say, "What time are you going on?" Because I don't want to go on the same time as him, Today he was probably walking around the pond. I haven't even checked, but he was probably walking around the pond. I got to find like a pond that I can walk around, But he does great work. He's 106,000 subscribers. I can't compete with the guy. He's probably driving around in a Rolls Royce right now. He's got that platinum American Express card that says "Crime Time with Duty Ron." Uh, so great. He's in his backyard. So he was lazy today too. He didn't feel like walking to the pond, so he's in his backyard. That's what I did. My wife's on the other side, sitting under the canopy, and I'm back here. I said I'm going to do a live from the yard, so we just stay out of the yard with the pool. But so she's on the other side. I'm over here. We have a pretty big yard. We have almost an acre, so just under an acre, a little shy under an acre. But it costs a lot for the landscaper to cut this grass once a week or whatever they do. Yeah, once a week, every Friday. Angela Van, are they going to release autopsy of Gabby? It's very sad. You know something? That's all up to the FBI. What we know now relative to the autopsy is it was ruled a homicide. We don't know the cause of death, and that they're holding close to their vest. For whatever their investigative reason is, they haven't released that, and we're all waiting for that. But I don't think the FBI is in any hurry to release that. So we may be waiting for that for a while longer. So, but with Duty Ron, with myself, with some of the other channels, you're going to get some up-to-date information and some real. Duty Ron blew it. He blew it out of the water. 1.6 million of the episode with Barbara Butcher and Ed Wallace, who's the first-grade crime scene detective. If he gets any more views than that, he might as well just sit in a rocking chair and retire. But if you watch that show, it was a great show. Barbara Butcher is a superstar. Why a network television station hasn't picked her up as an expert and analyst, I have no idea. But we know all about Barbara Butcher. So why we don't want a network to steal her from us? But she's a superstar, and Ed Wallace is doing great work also. So again, this week coming up, we're gonna do a little more on the Murdoch case. That case is always super, super interesting. David Pagan. I can't read that whole thing. I'm not that fast to read it. Duty Ron's in the chat too. He's he just coming off the air, but he's out. Any chance to talk about Chicago outfits? Always about 5 New York families. We don't know much about the Chicago mob. We try to keep to what we know. If anyone from the Chicago mob wants to come on Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories, they know how to get a hold of us. They know how to get policeoffthecuff.com. You can get a hold of us through that website. Folks, I'm going to probably sign off now. I've been on for over 33 minutes. I don't like to go on these little backyard talks with you guys. I don't like to go much over a half hour. So I'm just Bill got some great souls who told me it would be a pleasure to be a guest on your channel. Retired Sergeant Melinda. Thank you, Sergeant Melinda. You're the best. Factual breakdown. I love Police Off the Cuff. Thank you, guys. All right, listen, I'm going to sign off now. There you can see my pool, my closed pool. I just want to wish all you guys a great day. I'm going to certainly enjoy it. I actually may break out another glass of Cabernet later on this evening, or a cold beer, because daytime, it seems like it's a great time for a cold beer. So, folks, thank you so much for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. And if you're not subscribed to Police Off the Cuff, please go to our YouTube, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a thumbs up. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and have a great, great Saturday.